Thank you, Deputy Speaker. It's been a frustrating week. On Monday we had a secret plan. I think it was education on Monday. Tuesday a secret plan on hospitals, and today, according to the member for Kingston and now Charlton, a secret plan on jobs. Is it jobs? Jobs. Vocational training. The frustrating part, Deputy Speaker, is that we are having a review into federation. It is a green paper. It is actually a discussion paper about a discussion paper. It is a process. It needs to be dealt with state and local government. This federation of ours is 114 or 15 years old. It needs to be reviewed. We have structural budget deficit issues. We have massive duplications of resources occurring at all three levels, and our resources are finite. Hence the fact that we have the structural budget deficit. And ruling in and ruling out and playing games, not having a sensible conversation between all three levels of government on a very simple concept. Who does what and who pays for what? And I would like to add a third: who regulates and monitors compliance? Because after 23 years of employing people and bouncing around between all three levels of government in this country, I can tell you that it is tough to employ people. And the topic of the debate, the government failing to prepare Australians for the jobs of the new economy. Here's a news flash. I believe this topic should be the government failing to prepare Australians to create the jobs of the new economy, because this House doesn't understand enough, in my humble opinion, that it is not government that creates jobs. It is today's employers that become tomorrow's small business operators that make their way through to medium-sized business and large business. And that is hard. I don't know how to do it. I don't have the answers. I'm not an educator. But we need to better target our education to find and foster and promote the entrepreneurial flair that sits inside tomorrow's small business operator. And how are we trying to do that as a government, Deputy Speaker? You heard the Parliamentary Secretary for Communications talk about employee share schemes. The reality of the changes that the former government made was that a vehicle that could be used to give ground entry level to an employee and ownership in a potential business of the future, a great transitioning tool, was taxed upon issue rather than upon redemption. Guess what? An employee on 55 or 60 grand a year that is given options in a business that has to pay for the capital gain on them in year one doesn't have the capital to do it. They won't do it. Hence, the changes we have made are sensible. It was how the system was and how it will always be. It is how today's employees can use a tool to become tomorrow's entrepreneurs. A good system. It's not, and I like this term, new economy. A job is a job is a job. Our economy changes every day. There are opportunities every day. Our job as government is to get out of the way and allow people to take risk. Hence, going back to why the Green Paper is so important and why the monitoring and compliance side of the Green Paper is so important. Just like anything you add, any regulatory burden you add has to be paid for by a business and is actually a disincentive, the more you can take out of the way of business, the more incentive there is for them to have a go. Some of the budget initiatives, the small business package, irrespective of what that business is, can take advantage of a decrease, obviously, in company tax rates, but instant asset write-offs. Tradies. The member for Cunningham mentioned TAFE. I know in my former role I worked with RTOs to make our own Cert 3 and Cert 4 hospitality courses that we could offer to our staff because TAFE didn't fit our business model. These are all things that we should do, Deputy Speaker. This is a most worthwhile debate to have. There are today's employees are tomorrow's entrepreneurs, and we need to foster and flame that